All right, for News OK, I'm Dave Morris, and I'm happy to be joined by Juliana Keeping from the Oklahoman's newsroom. She is gracing us with her presence here in the studio to talk about a story that she will have this weekend and online at newsok.com about public storage. And public storage in Oklahoma City held 8 auctions on Wednesday, and I won't give it away. How'd that go?
Well, it was very interesting. What piqued my interest in storage unit auctions was the show Storage Wars and Storage Wars Texas on A&E. I just started watching it last weekend kind of randomly with my husband, and I couldn't stop watching it. And I watched about 5 or 6 episodes of this marathon. It was a little ridiculous, but
we've all been roped into the marathons on TV. We know how that goes.
Right. So it made me wonder about Oklahoma storage auctions. When do they occur? How many are there? So I looked it up. They happen all the time, and I found Public Storage was hosting 8 auctions in a row Wednesday morning, which was perfect for my purposes and my deadline. So
at various locations around Oklahoma City, right?
Yep, different storage owners will hold the auctions when people don't pay their lease, and then they take a certain amount of steps. So under the guise of guided by the law.
So is it like the show, or a little bit different than the show?
Well, everyone I talked to said the reality of storage unit auctions is nothing like Storage Wars on TV. What you don't see is all of the work that it takes to clear out these storage units. There's not quite so many treasures as the reality.
They just show the good stuff on TV, right? All right, I have questions about this, namely the crowds. What type of people did you see there?
All kinds of people. One man brought his little dog. Another, there was a couple with a couple of kids. A few people brought their kids actually. There were a few thrift store owners among the crowd just trying to stock their stores.
Makes sense.
There were people just trying to make an extra buck.
All right, now when you were going from these 8 storage units on Wednesday, was it the same group that showed up or different people that showed up?
Pretty much. I went to 3 of the 8 auctions, and I thought I got a good enough taste where I could get a story. But pretty much it was about 40 people. They would show up at
Pretty good crowd.
It was a really big crowd. I was surprised. I actually got a little lost to the first auction, and they went by so quickly. I was about 10 minutes late, and I missed 3 out of the 5 auctions, but there were plenty more throughout the day, so it was no big deal. But so huge crowds, and they happen really quickly. People filter by the open storage unit, just take a glimpse inside. They don't get to go inside or touch any of the stuff that's in there and check it out other than visually.
Cash only?
And then the auction starts. Cash only. You got to bring your cash if you want to win one of these units.
So what did you see? Good stuff, bad stuff?
Well,
stuff that you would buy or stuff that,
a lot of junk, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. And a guy I talked to, Dave Silva, bought a unit for $500. And I would have looked at that unit and said, no way, pass. But he looked inside and he saw gold, if you will. Okay, so he's like I said, there was some furniture. Well, he's got a guy to buy furniture. Okay, there were beds. He has someone who can buy beds, and he knows exactly what he's going to get for it. There was a box of collectible Hot Wheels or something like that in the packaging. He knows where to take that. And what else was in there? That was pretty much it. I mean, he's on the lookout for tools that have a high resale value.
Makes sense.
Stuff like that. He's been doing this so long, he can just take a look around, put a price tag on everything, add it all up, decide what it's worth to him, and hopefully stick that price in and get the unit.
You mentioned there are a lot of storage units in the in this area because of military.
Right. One thing my editor and I were thinking with the article we wanted to highlight were, how do you lose your stuff in a storage auction? Well, it's pretty simple. You don't pay your rent. So because we have such a high military population who, stowing their stuff away, going on deployments, it's important for them to think about, keeping in touch with that storage unit landlord, making sure that the bills are getting paid back home, or when they come back, they might find their stuff has been auctioned off to the highest bidder.
All right, last question for you. How do people find out about these auctions? Let's say someone's watching this video, reading your story, and they say, well, I want to do that.
They're actually advertised in our very paper.
Very nice.
Yes. So part of the laws that govern the lien sales of these items spell out exactly, what has to happen for this stuff to be auctioned off. And one of the aspects of that is the storage owner has to advertise over a period of twice and over a period of 15 days in the local paper of record. So you can look for them in the paper, but there are also some different companies that pop up online that kind of track them for you. It seems like you have to pay some kind of fee, maybe $15 a month. So if you're real serious about it, and you might want to pay that fee and not look at the paper, but I say buy the paper. Come on.
Buy the paper.
Buy the paper.
Help us out. Buy the paper. She's
and
new
find
to the
out
paper.
about these auctions.
She's new to the paper, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Juliana Keeping joined us in January. We're happy to have you on board.
Oh, thanks. It's good to be here.
Well, thank you for your time today. That's very interesting stuff.
Thanks for having me.